and make our nation great and strong. Go to defend forever a concern, freedom and the flag. Freedom I you to and me. You see with the fearless, cheerless, all nicey, and make our nation great and strong. We Salawe, all my forevermore. Forever, a concern, freedom and the flag. Freedom I you to and God bless my homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Go to defend forever a concern, freedom and the flag. Freedom I you to and me. You see with the fearless, cheerless, all nicey, and make our nation great and strong. We Salawe, all my forevermore. We Salawe,
all my forevermore. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. The name, of course, D Sexy, D Ren, Dr. Ren, aka Papa Ghana, the authentic one, original. In Zubayo Bode. Yankupon the Wishana Wishana. Wishra Ghana for. Or say, or the Adon natural resources in or the Amaye. The Aka, to add value to the natural resources. Roll call quickly. Maminchia Franklin, Bonnie. Michiao, Komi, Michiao ha. We Salawe, all my forevermore. Yes, Facebook for you answer roll call Michiao BBR more Facebook. And a conversation, no. You may share a year and come be a very, very important. But you fire adrenaline calls for. Timmy Besse me de Ghana for you na me train adrenaline na ye de ekoso. Efa the Chief Justice Baffoe-Bonnie. Medi ne ho komo kakra. We are being a Sunday. We shall talk about Israel, US and Iran war, the history behind it. Me no be this uncommon. But ansani ebe kwa this uncommon, of course. When him say me share me program and say then it means he say a friend is saying, say, me bombarding ya, na me de and sempani no me de mount.
That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. There is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
Yes, it is true. The black man is capable of managing his own affairs. And sir, and come away President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and Ode Tubiano. But before Yanko Kakra Yanko. Hey. Baba. Hey. Hey. Politicians, the songwriter is simply saying that our forefather Kwame Nkrumah weeps in his grave for Ghana, the land he fought hard to save. And J.J. Rawlings, with tears in his eyes, mourns as our nation flutters and cries. The land is rich with blessings so vast, yet comfort and peace are fading fast. Oh, John Mahama, as you have come once more, lead us through this troubled shore. We ask, we plead, fix what is wrong, make Ghana proud, make Ghana strong, for if you fail us, we will seek again the iron hands of military men. This is what the songwriter is simply saying. And you mean the oh, and yes, Adia, yes, Uncle Bimwe. Aya. Hey! Nagaino. Yeah, you're going to me. Yeah. Elvis, I greet you too. Sigma, I Ladies and gentlemen, you can't speak. How are you singing the song? Henry Hansen, Charlie, by force. I see a tunyomono. The Ghana language is so sweet. Yenko yenim yenkuti assembly. My topics are very simple, and my topics are me treaty. Share a friend saying the history of a U.S., Israel, and Iran war. And I think so. And come on, I gave Ataa Ayi 70 years to protect my family. This is from a Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. The judgment will be near. The judgment they say, me bua nipa ne for my man in fear 70 years, all because me bomb me busia for home. Not what the Constitution is saying, not what the law is saying, but on one personal interest, protecting the family. If you know you are doing something right, why are you scared for your family? This is question Amibisa. If you know said ya wo ye ya bibi papa, why should you be afraid for your family? Because after all, the Chief Justice is you're protecting them, you're sharing, you're born home, you're in a mouth buying. So why the fear? Why the fear? Yanko Chief Justice Baffoe-Bonnie, Asamoah Onuankasa Ekaye. Just 1 or 2 minutes be. Mesrewa Tienwa Supem Nwankasa me ren and America.
We are always talking about a bunch of plantains, a crate of eggs. My mother is a Catholic, was a Catholic. I always tell this story. My mother was a Catholic. And you know, these old ladies, how when they said, in my time, the Catholic priest was a white person. So at the end of the year, my mother wants to go and then harvest a particular plantain that he has nurtured over the year. My mother was going to the farm every morning with a bench bag.
Okay.
This young man was sitting under the shady tree. In our place, we call it in Kwankwediase, playing drafts. Every day, my mother passed by him to go to the farm. Now, 1 year on, it is time for harvest. My mother wants to go and harvest the plantain to come and give to the
This is Ghana's Chief Justice, by the way.
White priest.
His name is Baffoe-Bonnie.
Who speaks Latin. And then this young man has gone there. And when they go there, they don't cut the plantain. They move it from the top. So my mother will walk all the way to the place before realizing that the plantain has been harvested. We sit in Accra here. When a magistrate at Gosu decides to send the boy to prison for 3 years, we sit in Accra here and say the man stole only a bunch of plantains. Do you know what it means what the bunch of plantain means to my mother? It's like stealing your car.
Listen to the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Listen to him. Let's continue, Chief Justice.
You see, so, there are so many reasons. The magistrates and the judge, they are trained. They have this, the sentencing guidelines. They have them. But sometimes they have to go beyond it. In my youthful days, I gave somebody 70 years. Ataa Ayi, I gave him 70 years. And what I told myself was that if Ataa Ayi was given 30 years and he comes back, my family will be the first family he will attack. So by the time he comes back after 70 years, I'll be dead and gone.
You see, you heard it. Ghana's Chief Justice. A kwaya omofa soa omo sentence nipa. According to him, judges are trained. They've been given the guidelines. But to him, the guidelines, or the nudging, the emotions, the feelings, and so sad rem. And so he sentenced Ataa Ayi instead of 30 years. Me man 30 years, obaba hwehwe me. No aba be kume. Eni mebusuafo. Enti ene me man 70 years. Sad time obaba no na me wuko. What a wicked Chief Justice. Very wicked. This is an evil sentencing. I'm telling you, with all respect to the Chief Justice, yes, I was serving the nation. But if you ask me, this particular statement, he does not deserve to be a Chief Justice of any country in this world. Very evil-minded man. Very evil thoughts that went into that decision and judgment. Pure evil. And I'll explain to you why. As a judge, you sentence somebody to go to prison. Now, you work with the prison officers. The prison, a friend is a fraternity. Because people going to prison is a rehabilitation. Not just to punish, but also to give the people a better life of understanding. We call it healthy behavior. Because perhaps he didn't know better. So even though you are punishing the person, you are also training and teaching the person why he's being given such a punishment. So that one day, when he leaves the shores of the prison or the gates of the prison, he'll become a better person. But you see, this man, Baffoe-Bonnie, sentenced Ataa Ayi 70 years. instead of giving the guy 30 years. And still, Ataa Ayi is in prison. So you see, this judgment was about feelings. This is wicked and evil. How many of such judgment and Baffoe-Bonnie Ediaman called for? He narrated a story of how Nema Mikofum Ekobre Edia body na manfo kucha. Wrong is wrong. I'm not condoning something which is wrong. Sorry, I'm not praising something and yeah adipa pebi. Boni ye boni. But the thinking the punishing call for. And he said, Sene mami dia body na so bi kutwa no wia. To ne mami no eye car. It a sombo. It is hard punishment near the money pakro 3 years no eye good. No wonder said recently. Obi akon rem, obofo akon rem. No wako kum or aye aboa. Near money 3 years. Not the likes of Wuntimi Munambo. Not the wheels of justice. Ain't mean grinding faster when it comes to the rich and powerful in our society. You understand the reason why MPP Fonko prison, is because this man is a chief justice. He's afraid if you're punishing Wuntimi Mua, they will come after him. This is the reason why he's not been able to even facilitate a fast-track high court to try these political thieves. This is the reason. This is the reason why he is afraid of the MPP people. The Chief Justice is afraid. His own words. If he's afraid of Ataa Ayi, even just Ataa Ayi, one person, he's afraid of Ataa Ayi, then a whole institution like MPP, a whole political party like MPP, do you think this man will have the balls, the bravery, the boldness to even set up a fast-track high court to try the people, the thieves who stole Ghana's money, who deprive us of good roads, good hospitals? Do you think this man will have that bravery? I'm sorry to say, ontimi nyasa akokudro no, and try NPP for Kromfo no. Onya. Ontimi nya. Because he's a oyo. He's not bold. He's not a bold judge. Yes. Truth set men free. And to be a judge, you must be brave. You must be bold. And to be a whole Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Now, ye bisa a question. I'm sure the prayers of Ataa Ayi in prison, after he has repented, was asking himself, why 70 years and not 30 years? I'm sure Ataa Ayi was asking those questions. I'm sure. And when he got the chance to justify that judgment, the justification is, I am afraid. I was afraid that if Ataa Ayi comes out of prison, he will search for my family and kill us. You see the reason why some judges went missing. I'm not praising anything wrong here. And I'm not saying hallelujah to the missing judges. No. You see, such judgment would definitely make the citizens think twice about how they look and view judges like him. Remember the EC case. This man was afraid to establish a prima facie in Jane Adukwe Mensah, and told the president that Jane Adukwe is of no sin, and that she is a saint. And so we should allow her to continue her job as EC boss. This is, you see, let me tell you something. Now you are crying. You are wondering why such a man is your Chief Justice. He's ineffective. He cannot perform. He cannot do the work. He's afraid. A man of fear. Very timid. Weakling. That is where they show their crutchy powers. When they meet the poor people in their courts, they show their bravado. Such a person is a weak man. And this is just a very foolish statement he made. Anthony said, my brother, the Ataa Ayi was the early stages of his practice. Why using present tense, but things in a year, put things in perspective? Such a foolish statement coming from Anthony. Such a foolish statement. What Anthony is trying to say is that because it was early stages, imagine if this man had sentenced Ataa Ayi by a firing squad. Ataa Ayi would have died just like that. Or because of somebody's personal feelings, not based on law. And Anthony is telling us that it is okay because he was just coming up, he didn't know better. Such a foolish statement. Epstein file in America are sins of old, but they are trying people. Sins of old. Sometimes some of you people should think and open your minds. We are not dumb like that too. I don't know whether if Baffoe-Bonnie is your father or your uncle or whatever, or a family member. You people think we are just dumb or we don't know better. I stand for truth. I don't serve mankind. I don't serve man. I stand for truth. Truth is what I serve. And in serving truth, I'm not afraid of any human being on earth. Never. Now listen to him. This is the reason why the man is afraid of MPP. This is the reason why he's not able to have the balls who stole our monies. This is the reason why. Because if this man is bold, why is it taking long? Why is it taking long? It's because he's afraid. He's afraid that if he set up the fast track high court, Wontimi and Co will be jailed quickly. He is afraid. He was once upon a time an MPP member. He is afraid. He's a coward. They only get, I don't know how to even put these words. They only find, their strength when they meet the weak ones. When the weak people appear in front of them, that is when they show their bravado. Because ono yo yeniba, only come for intimate punishment. But it should not be that. To me, that is where you have to show your true colors and say you know better, but you did wrong, so we are going to punish you. That is why in Germany, in China, in Japan, if you're a minister, an MP, somebody who is higher in society, when you err, the law punish you hard. Because who cried the winning papa no. Na ni winning papa na wanye no. Chere konkon ne se eye bone ma no. This is the reason why there is delay. I wonder who advised the president John Mahama to appoint this person. I wonder. Ever since he became Chief Justice, or called tour, Thanksgiving tour, instead of sitting there in his office to ensure there will be, there is a fast track high court, fast track tribunal to arrest the thieves. Or called thank you tour. Wait, we are here now who appear before the court. Obey jelly untentem. Go ni kama for. Usro one more. What to me? Usro. And you're asking. And I heard one NDC guy. It was Ashanti region. You go to the no so kaye. What's on the crowd here? Afuno. You no. Ashanti region. Them na making. A brand way. See, the way I knew my corner party, and train here, I want to there, or resign or every MPP because on expect BBC. Oh, I think I've lost the video. Anyway, Uti Nasama Oka, more because people like this, NAA Chief Justice. Dear, putting somebody in prison for 40 more years. This guy does not deserve to be the Chief Justice. No, he doesn't. But under John Dramani Mahama, he has made him a Chief Justice. Ladies and gentlemen, you're free a year ni the so na call a year the other conversation, the other matters. Quickly, you're share a year and komo a far a year oh my Ghana. Chief Justice with you, I don't have faith and believe in him. As a friend is saying, I don't know how to even put the words. Just say me to be honest with you, yenya no home faso because the echo idea agibia nsachara ebem. Agi say bia nsachara ebem. Oti ase because the echo enya de ebenya no home faso. Anyway, my main fan de no entonche matise amanfo bebre. Say na International Women's Day on. Okay, and happy year International Women's Day to all women across the globe. Your mamo a year friend is saying a beautiful year a friend is saying day. Women's Day, without women, there will not be any society. You people are the ones that give birth. Even though we give you the seed, no. I mean, a friend is saying, Nana, Samson, come dos. Misewa, Mentimian Budina Fachemi. Yao Adu Michel, Ben Michel, Avui, Wisdom Michel, Ransford Miller, greetings to you. I agree with you. Even EC issue is a test case. Thank you. Finn. Also, when I heard this from him, I was shocked. Yet they went on to make him a Chief Justice. Seidu, greetings to you also. Anthony, you are pissed off and insulting because of my opinion. No, your opinion doesn't really make sense. That is why it pisses me off. It doesn't make sense. Because you are trying to defend something which doesn't make sense. Don't do that. Don't do that. Defend the truth. Don't defend individuals. No, don't do that. What is wrong is wrong. I hate when people try to defend people when they know that what they did is wrong. We are building a nation of men with morals, truth, not people who will try and defend wrong, no, and give excuse that because he was young. Donald Trump was young. I mean, Andrew Prince Andrew was young, but they are trying them. The fact that you are young does not mean that you go about doing anything and misbehaving anyhow. No. So being young is not an excuse. Don't do that. If you can pass to become a lawyer, you are not young. Yes. Upa 18 years. Okay? Yes. So let us not always try to pamper and defend people. No, it's not good. Komidosuo. I say, I hope I pronounce this name correct too. I'm when you are watching you from Germany. Ransford Miller said the statement was suicidal. Very. Said, Ataa Ayi, I said me born who buy because my money who buy here. A friend is saying, Obeba no wa baba be chime busuafo, no wa kume busuafo. And until now, on chichi, on seti a fast track high court, and chichi and the MPP for no. Cause so se chairman won't me mo. Ebeba be den. Ebaba be chichi no. Usro pa. Yes, ankaba na wachichi wo mu nyina. Akogu prison. But usro. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on, and then our conversation means so koso. Ibrahim Mahama, a man for see Ibrahim Mahama, what top private jet. Na Ibrahim Mahama private jet, no. Esenka. Or this ikanema. Enkofo no mudi adwuma. A lot of people are talking about Ibrahim Mahama. Fred Mitchell. Let me be honest with you. When it comes to people who are in the private sector, I really don't like to concentrate much on them. What you say? The entire main family concentration into private sector is very simple. Because they are doing everything possible to create jobs for Ghanaians. Maybe concentration is government, the judiciary, the legislature, the executive. Once in a while, when individuals be a form of a private sector, then I come and talk about it. Nobu, my sis, how are you doing? When it comes to people doing their business and what they will use their money for, or what they will use their money, omwankasa omo choice. But when it comes to Ibrahim Mahama, you cannot say omboa Ghana. Then you are just being a hypocrite. This is a man who has created jobs. Not jobs. Now Owen stay there. He has created jobs. Otian Kofoka for over 20 years. I heard some people saying, Uncle Nikro Munkoshe and Kofo any nine and a nuncio. Wa Wokasan. Wabetina Bruchri and our Ghana. What have you also individually done for the people who are in the northern region? So that they will also not drink from the same a friend is in Sia and Moa and Numubi. Moa Mokasan. Moa chere osikenino, dear one for the sika enyeno, a dear na monsumudi musika no amanyano, monsumudi ayadi abuanipa. Yebusamo. Yebusamo. Muamukasa Ibrahim Mahama onimu nyansa. Na muamunimu nyansa na how many anamotimi aboa wo mu abrabom. Muamusimu nimu nyansa sin Ibrahim Mahama no. Muamunimu nyansa na dia na mudi ayede aboa nipa. Mokwa mo boa ni panketenkete kra ma £100, $100, 200 bi kra. Mo de begun tintan so ma mansan nyina ate. Meboa. Ebia no ohiani no o kire osikeni de osikeni ni fa ne sika nye. Enso ohiani ni hunu nyansa enya sika ni bio na emom no wo be kire de osikeni no emfa ne sika nye. Mo ahiafo no momfa muti no enwene nsa munye sika ni bi na momfa nkwankos biebie nnuma ene nsuo mfama the northern region eno so beboa because one tree cannot make up a forest. Edua baako entimi nya kwaye. Ibrahim Amankwa cannot solve the entire problems of the nation Ghana. No, he's a businessman. Utiane taxes. Obua manfo. Look at what happened to Kofi Adoma wanwani. Hwe boa wode boa na ene abrante no wehu ade. Wa wo si wo ye unim nyansa no. Asam to Kofi Adoma, you people were insulting Kofi Adoma. Such imbeciles who always see wrong about some of the good things that Ghana phony be. There was a lady, young girl, be a Ashanti region. Neni onya obi amse school ana bibisa na neni was affected. Ibrahim Ama terminated ne by UK. The neighbor to hotel. Uni hotel na order. Not just any hotel keke no order. I think it's not that say Holiday Inn as an order. Friend is saying one of these top hotels. Otua hotel bills. At the neighbor UK. At one of the top hospitals. Emi ekohwe ni. Unim a cowboy. Wa wo si wo sika no utimi yesa esebi wa wo si wonim nyansa no utimi yesa ha so de bia moye miehunu se moye atamfofo mo tan nipa ha mokra motete abrochire kra mabusua fie kra munya sika kakra mpo muntimi mfa mboa mabusua fie ma yensi abusua nan mpo. Muti abroche musi mu na moba ma abroche mabenya musika nti mudi de mo pa na mudi musika beye mumpo maye saa no musi ma abroche na maba no munya sika mo ana munya musika nti de mo pa na mudi ye mumpo muntimi ntwa amani enkohwe mabusuafo mpo enhwe wo mo musi abroche no mo ana moba ye ti de mo pa na mumpo mudi musika ye nempese Ibrahim Mahama no una obekire umpo a waye sa krampo no wo choice de odu usika be unjai san krase ni oma no na mo ya beifo dodo wo de unya usika de open na wo de na obi nsu nya ne de na so de ato ne private jet wo ha ne se wo ya usapon ne se wo ya usapon ne se. This is a businessman who hustled on the street of London. Wabrepa, if you don't know. Wabrepa, if some of you don't know. The private jet and on the other emergency jet no. And one or two for two kwanya will use and one a gamanche two kwanya will use and one a him for bebre almost Ghana two kwanya will use. A country like Ghana you too gold. And so you need private jet. I am for kesi mpo ni komo private jet. A country like Ghana. Gaman chempo ni private jet. Otumfo mpo ni private jet. A country like Ghana. Yana. A friend is saying, a yabon rampo oni ni private jet. A country like Ghana. Nkaya kanka. Our kings or our chiefs should even be able to own their own private jets. Huh? Sometimes we are much as here. I don't know whether you people want us to glorify poverty. He's a businessman, private businessman. Allow him. Udi mnyansa for nyansa no so e create nyuma. wonim nyansa sen no ha fa wo nyansa no so bie bie enwuma na wo so fa wo nyansa no bi eye de wo pese wo de ye. Yes, as simple as that. Amunjai sa otan wono no ne eni bere bone no mo kra mo tena ma bro chire kra mo ye adwuma 9 to 5 kra mo sika kra mo sori anopa de mo pe na mo de ye ha bibusa mo ngojina shop entototon ayi ahwehwaniwa akese enhye mo ngojina shop entototon taade enhye hey ene se nke beka se Ghana poverty ni de e mo obi ampo nto bibi papa enhye. Yeah, because sana wo dwene dia ene don't buy anything. O sorry na pa nsa na abedidi no manisika ko ukuro mu ho wabusua dan atakwa me dan no kona kohwe wo mo ansa na wadidi. Onum niyoma papa we waye Ibrahim ama waye adwuma wabie employ thousands of Ghanaians. Ni cement jata cement unim nkofo do employ wo jata cement ni boa fofofofofofo unim nkofo employ wo unim engineers engineers and planners omu free tech omu free friend is saying Takwa School of Mines, University of Takwa School of Mines, omu free wa the company no one omu ye adwuma wo na say ya omu born abaso omu honorary doctorate Dr. Ibrahim unim de enti omu man is a doctorate unim sika odema sa university no ye di training Ghana for busawa ban no say government abako say send odema sa Takwa School of Mines unim millions of dollars Ibrahim ama edema sa university no ye di take Ghana for nkwada our mines, engineering, mining engineers. You talk without even doing any research. Say what time you say them. Thankfully, there's one MPP about Bonti say or say Ibrahim Mahama yes idea we ni ajepa because onon kamre bi ko yewu Ibrahim Mahama daroma. Ensanku ye. Senkenya Ibrahim Mahama ne private jet. Mimfa wen susu ya mame Professor Gina no Poko Ajman, with all respect to our beautiful friend, intelligent vice president, workaholic woman. Kenya Ibrahim Mahama ne private jet at the time that was available ewo Ghana and ka vice president Gina no Poko Ajman ko wuye. Yes, go wuye. Emra wo free a friend say lift ewo Jubilee House wo pie ya wo twahwe Ibrahim Mahama private jet and ye rushing it in two mu straight ye call ye rushing it in call a friend is saying UGMC hospital won anye ya doctor ne ka say no yemfa maame ntu kwan ko yes obewu from Jubilee House to UGMC, from UGMC straight to London. And Professor Gina no Poko Ajima otiase. Nipa beyebi, wambeye ni nyina, wonsum, eni nipa, nti wonsum bi. Ni nyina yentimi nyemboa. That is how we build a nation. Umbutu, I am because you are. Yen nyina yemboa boa ye ho. Etode bia, mukum, the Ghanaian businessman no dodo. The same way when Osei Kwame Despite Eboa, those days, not all boa. People came. There was one guy in America, and Osei Kwame ne blood bank now, or the new moja, and we say na papa ija is edgeman. And the corner the way at 37 for patch also people should come and donate blood. Corner the way a friend is saying Kolebu Hospital patch also people should come and donate blood. Adeng. From when you bring him kwa buying so. From when you bring him judiciary for no more, taxpayers need to our cano. The legislature, no, from when you bring ho, your private businessmen, no, any private business women, they are doing their best. Omoboa. And I think so be to say Dr. Ibrahim Mahama, why manabroso. And we pray that God will give him the strength to do more. Why? Yeah, kwasha Ghana kwenye ono kwampo na wo private jet. Yeah, what other people almost wo private jet. hypocrisy ne doso dodo. Hey. And a quick question, Mr. Dr. Ren, please, is he the only one who owns a private jet? I ask again, oh. Francis, was it the hypocrisy in our system is too much? I don't know if it is witchcraft or is a greed against the rich. Some people are too much immature. Susan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fine with you, and I said, me promise him, say, pardon me, the history of the Iranian, the Israel-US Iranian war. Where part 1. A history, and I'm remember part 1. I have heard about some people saying, say, the war, no, it's not about it's not religious war. The thing is that those people who say, no, in part, no, they are right to say so, but they don't have the full history. Dr. K, I greet you. They don't have the full history. So let me give you the full history. Anyway, you see, when you take a look at history, this Israel-US-Iran war, idea for years, ewo mu ana sorry kakra, ewo mu ana adwo, ewo mu ana sorry kakra, ewo mu ana adwo. Pardon me, but I want to give you the history. Part 1, part 2, I will come and tell you when oil was discovered in Iran, and then by the British company, Anglo-Persian oil company. I know me do, but then I'm call the beginning. You see, Papa Bia, your friend of Abraham, it's the name by Abraham. Sa Papa, God promised him to make him father of many nations. Now, Papa no Oware, or by a friend of Sarah. And we know the story. Sarah no ntimi woba. Or Cheya and Sana or Obewoba. Now, when Abraham, Efri Nikurum, was promised a land, he left with Sarah. So Omokobobra. This is a promise in the Bible. Quran, ebi wom, the Torah, and also a womb. And that is why I keep telling people, when you see this kind of war, brothers, busia, and toka, the Arabs, Muslims, woman toka. Humanity began from the continent of Africa. Tuntum and yenya nipa and yehunu bia omoya brofo. And that is why I keep telling my black people, say you should not feel inferior because emu and yebenya all the other human race. Now, when you talk about the patriarch of Christians, the patriarch of Christian, Efrisa, Abraham, Sarah, Awo. When we talk about the patriarch of Muslims, Efri Abraham and Hagar, Awo. The Bible is saying, when God promised Abraham and Sarah, so obey Abraham, a father of many nations, no. Sarah and Timmy and Woba at the time, not Abraham. Until Sarah put pressure on Abraham. Say, Aden, I won't fa makuaha Hagar. No more effect. No more sisiso. Or tour, or nufo, or flat belly, or an entuo, or sre, or ni, or winnie. Now, no, everything about Hagar, very beautiful as defined in the Quran. No more very young. In fact, Sarah was able to convince Nikunu Abraham. Abraham, any Hagar, eko woye. Omo woye no, owo ba bema. Abraham named him Ishmael. Now, Ishmael was a vibrant young boy, very handsome boy. And Ishmael, from the day he was born, has always been a fighter, a great warrior. Now listen to this. When Ishmael was born, Abraham grew closer to his son, Ishmael. Ebeye Sarah. Even though Sarah and the man Abraham ni Hagar kowoye no, ebeye Sarah ye too much. Edi na maye. Afe kra de me kunu Abraham onhwe manim. De bia sa woni Ishmael edi agro ni. De bia sa otiti Ishmael ni. De bia sa woma Ishmael akwankyere papa. Yankopon da ben na me nso mewo ba. Promise o promise me no. Ache shrame ba ye shrame yefunu na me yefunu wo ba. In fact, Abraham kept having a relationship with Hagar. It also pissed Sarah the more. One day, Sarah Busano said, "Hey, Nyankopon ya o sheboy, a promise me, inti ampa se boshe ebebem." Now guess what? Me mount the history of Israel and Iranian war. Israel, they are the Jew. Iranians are the Persians. These two people, out of them, and the human race, the conflict of religion, ejinaso. Now let's go a little bit slow for you to understand. Conflict na ashasie began from the promise of God to Abraham. That is the beginning of the conflict. Abraham to become a father of many nations. Where is the problem from? When Sarah was barren, she couldn't give birth. When we say Sarah, the meaning of Sarah means princess. Not being able to give birth in those days was a source of shame and disgrace. Those days, when your banner when you funa woba, you will say sebio bonini enim guasia toso, even till date crown. Bema kwa wona say the yiri ni nyamfe funa, you people know anamebwa. Now remember, Sarah was the one who proposed solution to Abraham. Sleep with Hagar. Hagar comes from a very respectful home, very humble, very meek, and very gentle, and very, very, very beautiful. Now, Sarah proposed a solution. Abraham went with a solution. Slept with Hagar. A baby boy was born, Ishmael. Now guess what? Sarah became very upset. Sarah's own inferiorities led her to treat Hagar very bad. She felt very inferior in front of Hagar. The slave, the servant, at long last, has given my husband a son. Miss Sarah, mentimi. Until one day, she told Abraham, get rid of Sarah and Ishmael. I don't want to see them. They are destroying our marriage. Abraham listened to Sarah. And guess what? He sent Sarah and Ishmael far away into the mountains. Now, in the mountains, something happened. An angel appeared to Sarah and told Sarah that Hagar, the angel told Hagar, even though Sarah has treated you wrong and evil, still go back and serve your master. And guess what? She left the mountains with her son, and then they came back to still serve Abraham and Sarah. And you see, when you read the Bible, somewhere in Genesis 16, 11 to 12, the Bible promise was about to be fulfilled. The meekness of Hagar, the gentility of Hagar is something to be admired. It opened the promise box. Being able to forgive Sarah made Sarah once again find favor in the eyes of the Lord. Now, what happened? The Bible promised about a son being born. And this is what the Bible described that boy, Ishmael. He said he will be a wild donkey of a man. His hands will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility towards all his brothers. When we say he'll be a wild donkey, you might think it's an offensive phrase. No. In those days, when we say somebody is a wild donkey, it means that person on penima obi insisino. That is why Muslims don't allow people to cheat them. Never. They will not allow you to cheat them. They will never let it slide. Never. Now, you will not see a Muslim who is timid. Never. They are great warriors, very bold. And when they say yes, they mean yes. Their nay is their nay. That is what the Bible referred to, a wild donkey. To Ishmael, he was a wild. This was a man who was bold, strong, free to move about, not scared to travel. Muslims are not afraid to travel. In fact, they are travelers. The Arabs are travelers. Now, guess what? They don't submit to anyone. No one. That is why today you see Iran they will never submit to America. Never. No matter what America will do, no matter what Israel will do, the Persians will never submit. They don't submit to anybody on earth. Now you see, when Sarah turned 90 years, some 3 people came to visit Abraham and told him that the promise will be fulfilled because Hagar has forgiven Sarah of the wickedness she did to her. Sarah had heard the conversation, but she was laughing. Which kind of God to be this? At my 90 years, my brother was born. How can I give birth? These people are jokes. But the 3 wise men that visited Abraham were precise. And in fact, the story goes on to say that Isaac was born. Isaac means one who will laugh. So when Isaac was born, his big brother Ishmael used to make jokes. You know how brothers make jokes with their younger brothers? You know how brothers teases their younger brothers? You know that some of these jokes and teasing are things that becomes imprinted on the minds, and sometimes you grow with it. That is why the Chief Justice of Ghana can tell you what happened to his mother is the reason why when he's giving judgment, he punishes people. Something that was done to his own mom when he was young. When he or the afahu and the punishing call for. To Ishmael, it was just a joke. Just having jokes with my younger brother. But guess what? When you read Genesis 21 verse 10, that is the reference point. The conversation, give you the reference point so you can refer if you want to learn more. Ishmael challenging Isaac and making jokes. Sarah never liked it. Sarah, the wife of Abraham, did not like the jokes Ishmael was making, saying that, you know, I am your big brother. In everything that our father owns, it belongs to me. The firstborn. Maybe Ishmael thought it was a joke, but to Sarah, listening to Ishmael speak, it was not a joke. So Sarah again told Abraham this time around, sack Hagar and Ishmael into the wilderness. For Ishmael wants to take the prime position as the true heir to the throne of Abraham. When you read the hadith that the Muslims read, when you read the Torah, the Quran, there are references in it. But you see, the hadith give a different account. And this is the reason why, till date, some Muslims see themselves as the real custodians of everything that belongs to Abraham. But to the Jew, the Isaac, meaning laughter. Sarah's son. They are the real people who are the heir to the throne of Abraham. The beginning of the conflict. The hadith says, Muslims will kill the Jew people. And it goes on to say that they will slaughter every Jew, even rocks. And that the only thing that the Jews will find refuge is to hide behind trees. According to the hadith, the Jews know the truth. And that is why they will always do everything in their power to associate themselves with the superpowers to protect them. This is what the hadith says. So when you read Genesis 17:18, Genesis 17:20, it is very interesting here. Now guess what? According to the Jew people, they are the true people that were promised. God promised them. And because they believe that their mother, Sarah, was the one through her that the promise was made to them, the promise must be fulfilled. And in fulfilling the promise, they believe that they are the real firstborn of Abraham, and that Ishmael is not the first one. It was a mistake because Ishmael's mother was a slave, and a slave cannot inherit what God has promised. But to the Muslim, no, that story to them has been changed and distorted. And that when Jesus Christ, when God made that promise, Abraham was supposed to sacrifice his son. And to them, that sacrifice is not Isaac, it was Ishmael. When you read the Torah, the Hadith. But the Bible says it was Isaac. This is where the conflict is all about. To the Jew, they are handsome because of the color of their skin. To the Jew, they believe that they are the true sons of God. To the Jew, they believe that it is not Ishmael. In fact, when you go to Israel, religious population, Christians are few. The Jews don't believe in Jesus Christ. No, they don't. I will tell you another day the real truth, the real reason why the Jews don't believe in Jesus Christ. Because if the Jew believed in Jesus Christ, it means that they need to forgive and forget. And in forgiveness, it will mean that Ishmael is the rightful brother that they must respect. That is why they don't believe in Jesus Christ. Because Jesus came to talk about forgiveness and love one another. So if they forgive the Muslims, if they forgive, that means Ishmael is really truly, and it is true, Ishmael was born before Isaac was born. So that is why the Jews don't want to even hear the name Jesus Christ. So that is why the Jew people don't want to believe Jesus Christ. Christianity is just very young. Abraham and Ishmael, when we talk about the oldest religion, they have been in existence for many years. Let me put the Christianity aside. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly do so. Dr. Ren TV on YouTube. Subscription is free. Let's build a family together. A knowledge-based family. Now, let me talk a little bit more about Ishmael. You see, Genesis 17 made it clear about who Ishmael is. It makes it clear. Ishmael is not an entertainer of fools. Ishmael don't joke. Ishmael means business. Even though he has his own soft spot. But you cannot cheat Ishmael. Oh yes. And that is the reason why it is so difficult. People think that the Muslims are so difficult. No. The true reason is that they do not submit just like that. If it is not the truth, they will not succumb. If it is the truth, they will succumb. They will bow to the truth. And to them, it is unfair what the Israelites are trying to do to them. And that is why they will forever defend who they are and what they stand for. So when somebody is in Ghana and they hear that Israel is going to war, sometimes these people might think that, oh, as a Christian, we pledge our allegiance to Christ. And so we must support Israel. I had to give you this history for you to understand that the patriarch of Christianity is Isaac. And the patriarch of Islam or Muslims is Ishmael. Ishmael came before Isaac. So you have to understand that Muslim is an old religion before Christianity. Before the Jew, the Zionist, before the Jew, through that when Jesus Christ came. This is a family war. It's between two brothers with one father. In these days, we call them stepbrothers. But they are all the sons of Abraham. In my own prayer and in my own research, there are some of the things that sometimes you cannot say it here. Because the Zionists are growing stronger. Ishmael, like every other bigger brother, don't like to talk. Like every other bigger brother, they let their actions speak louder than their words. maybe it's the reason why many people take advantage. Because the younger ones talk, they use the media to explain things, to push certain narratives. But the bigger brother does not push that narrative. That is Ishmael, the Persian. If you get the chance, read about Genesis and you understand. Let me read some of your comments. He said, Doc, I don't know the reason why some of the MPP members hated JM and his brother Ibrahim Muhammad like that, but the man has done better than a president in the Fourth Republic. That is true. Let me read some of the comments here. Now, Owens, he says the reason why JJ dealt with the judges. Oh, it wasn't JJ. I don't know, but now Owens, he say. Maybe it is, but I don't want to say it. So I will read what Na Owens just wrote. Credentials comment, Josie, do you know what the Jews say about Jesus? He's asking a question, or she is asking a question. I don't know whether if it's a he or a she, or a trans, as these days, some people say they are trans. So, can you please read Book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 17-18? Because what she says, is it Baumia's quotation? Don't mind me, just joking, I know. He said, according to a few research institute, according to PEW Research Institute, Islam is 2 billion strong. Islam has been there for many years. I understand. I know your point. You want to say that Islam was before Christianity. Michael Kusisi, can you read it yourself? Read which one? I've said many things, so I want to understand which one should I read so I can read it for you. Credentials comment, you say 100%. Africa 2649. You are not making sense. Thank you if I'm not making sense. Go to the platforms that make sense and go and listen to them. This is free. You have your own choice. So if I'm not making sense, don't worry. Because the more you think I don't make sense, your blood pressure will go up. And I don't want your blood pressure to go up. So please go where they are making sense. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I will end the part 1 of today's edition. Tomorrow I'll bring you the part 2. From the superior leader through the days where the Anglo-Saxons and the Persians discovered oil. And then a leader came and nationalized the oil and sacked the British. Until date, the reason why the Americans once upon a time supported Saddam Hussein against Kuwait, against some Arab countries. Do you believe that America is the godfather of the world that will just tell us what to do, which leader to choose? Is it right? Is it wrong? If it is democracy, why don't we leave it to the people to choose? Why should America go all the way to Venezuela and handpick and arrest their leader? Delhi, thank you. So tomorrow, maybe God willing, we shall come and then we will learn these things. We will come and study some of these things. And then we'll see where in the end. So thank you all guys for spending time with me. May God be with us all, wherever we find ourselves, which country, wherever, any place that you are. May God Almighty protect you. The God that you believe in, may he or she protect you, bless you, favor you. We are Ghana and Inquire, we be a Yankopon Tonsu Papa Ngusu. Unshrao. ɔma w'anim gu ase ɔmbɔ wo ho ban ɔma nhyira ɛne ahoɔden ne kwatenten wo dea. Thank you for spending time with me. Please, let's subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to hit 10K followers, 10K subscribers. So help me reach 10K. You can also share to other people. God bless our homeland Ghana, make our nation great and strong. Thanks for coming and thanks for joining me. Peace and one love to all of us.